main system.
I've noticed within Armored Core 6, there's quite of a steep learning curve as soon as you hit some of the future missions. And that's when you fight Balteus. And while he is a tricky boss, there are multiple ways of killing him and avoiding most of the damage if possible. Some of these ways of killing are perhaps fairly obvious, others are maneuvers and such that OG Armored Core players will know. Hence, I want to show this to most of you guys that are new to the series. So I'm going to show you guys 3 builds that I used with different difficulty levels, so we'll base it off easy, medium, and hard. So this will be up to you how you want to beat them, of course. So first off, we'll go for the medium difficulty, which I think is the most reasonable one. Probably the one you're gonna do most likely, because it just makes more sense. So the normal build will have Melander parts. You can get the other Melander parts as well that are not part of the pre-order. They're just as fine. What we really care about are the legs. The legs are key here. As the default, they're just not good. The way we're gonna beat the boss is by simply using the default laser blade, the pulse blade, as pulse is exactly what counters the shield for Balteus. This will make it so much easier to kill it. And on top of that, we also have the pulse gun that is doing exactly the same thing, and we can destroy the shield super fast. That way we're avoiding precious time, a possibility of getting hit. We can get in there as fast as possible. Although it does have low ammo, so use it wisely. On the back, we have the default rocket launchers. They work just fine. We're also going to use this throughout the mission to kill the other MTs and the cannons and stuff like that. Or you can use the BML G3 missile launchers. They do a lot more damage, and it's really good for getting that last bit of damage into the boss before you get in. To make it extra secure for you to be able to win this and clutch out the final moments, suggest getting the terminal armor expansion. You can get this within the OS tuning part. So you can go all the way over here and get terminal armor. And then you can equip it in your expansion slot. This allows you to survive for a little bit longer after you fall to 0 HP. This is either to clutch out the last moments of the boss if you really want to, or in case you accidentally couldn't heal yourself before like something happened all of a sudden. Also, in all these builds, I use Boost Kick as it really helps finish up that poise meter as much as possible, and it also helps for fighting any ACs really. On this side as well, you actually have another laser blade available instead of a pulse blade. It does more damage, but it doesn't do as much damage towards the shield. But it will do more damage towards the boss itself once you get rid of the shield. So play around with it and see what works more. I actually kind of like the laser more, as it can do a giant sweep attack, which is really good when there's a bunch of MTs. And on top of that, you are doing more damage to the boss right at the end. So alright, now let's get into the fight itself. I'm immediately closing in, boosting into the boss, and I'm already firing my pulse gun as many times as I can here. So I already took down a lot of it. I'm spamming the rockets as much as I can. I'm using the slower rockets on this one, and it does a lot of damage. So now he's already low. I go for a combo, and boom, there's 20% of his HP already gone, just like that. So from here on, we'll be using a very simple technique called boost hopping. It's pretty much like bunny hopping, but we're using boost with this as well if we have to, or dodge. So basically, we hop around. This way, the rockets go a little bit up and down, allowing us to dodge a little bit more. This is especially good for the giant direct hit missile, because it's really fast, and in order to avoid it, it's better to hop around and for him to not actually aim where you're going properly. You'll notice that I always try to get the shield really low, and I don't want to finish it just yet. I want to make sure I can get close to him enough for me to go ahead and do damage. So I make sure to finish up the last part of the damage with the rockets. That way I have the gun and my blade available to me, and then I can shoot the rockets again after the whole combo. Once the second phase of this boss happens, you pretty much within 5 seconds need to be in the air for a little bit to avoid his first couple of melee attacks. After he does his first attack, you can start dropping down and he'll miss the second attack as well. And then you pretty much do the thing all over again. Do try to stay in the air if you can. If not, just pay attention to his flamethrowers. And you pretty much do the same tactic. Now, this fight is a lot easier with the pulse gun, but it is still pretty fun and fairly challenging. Nothing crazy. Alright, so the easy way. You can probably guess what's gonna be. Is we're gonna make a giant tank robot that has way too many guns than it really should have. I pretty much just added all the default heavy AC parts, strapped it on, and I kept the Melander head. It doesn't matter. So for each arm, I added a rocket launcher. It really doesn't matter which rocket launcher you want to use. You can use the small snobby one, the long one. It really doesn't matter. But on the shoulders, we will use the VP60 LCSs. These are laser cannons. They do so much damage, and you can charge with them, increasing the damage by so much. On top of that, you'll notice it has a really high impact damage, which is really huge. So we can actually really stagger the boss as much as we can. Again, it doesn't really matter what generator you use, just use whatever. And boosters, of course, there's nothing, as these are tank treads. Anyway, though, boss fight. When I say this is the easiest way of doing it, I mean it's dirt easy. I got this the first try with this build. I wasn't even paying attention. I was doing this late at night at like 3 a.m., half asleep, and I still beat Balteus. So in this easy mode, you literally just charge your shoulder weapons, you hold them down, and you just start hammering him. You still do a little bit of dodging with the rockets by going left, trying to maybe, you know, go as fast as you can, but it really doesn't matter. It legit doesn't matter. You just shoot as much as you can at him when he's staying still. Keep in mind to get within range. And once you destroy the shields, you let go of the shoulder cannon's charge, blast the fuck out of him, and then shoot your rockets as many times as you can. If AS could cry, this one would. I'm literally sitting on top of him. I'm pretty much have my floppy wiener on top of its head, and he's really not liking it, okay? Like, this is the easiest way of killing him. It's just so much damage, especially since he's staggered right now. Like, look at this. Like, this guy is gonna have a bad day. And I'm barely trying to dodge. Just look at that. Staggered, staggered. Boom, boom. Just absolutely massacred. And I barely tried. And look how much HP I have still. We do a little bit of dodges from the flamethrowers here and there, but honestly, for the most part, we don't really give a shit. We just go ahead and just blast them with the rockets, man. Piece of cake. Like, look at that. I get double hit by that, and I only take 2,000 damage. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, that's that. That's the easy way to kill Balteus. Now this is my way of killing him. This is going to be the hardest way of killing him, most likely at this stage of the game, as of what you have around. And pretty much you have no advantages on fighting him. This will be completely based on your endurance and your ability to dodge things and just hoping for the best. So this one is, again, all Melander parts. It doesn't really matter what parts you use other than the legs. Just make sure you use something else and not the defaults. You can literally get anything else. For this one, I'm using one of my favorite guns in the game. You get it literally in the training, so do your training if you haven't yet. It's literally just a rifle that shoots really fast, depending how fast you click, really. And then if you hold it, it charges and becomes a sniper rifle. Very useful for killing MTs. Very useful for shooting ACs out of the sky. It's beautiful. It's a great gun that serves multiple purposes. For melee, though, we're going for the laser blade specifically. I prefer doing as much damage on the boss as I can while the shield is down. I don't give a shit how long it takes for me to destroy the shield itself. I just care I can do a lot of damage when it is down. For rockets, we'll be using the default rockets, but again, you can use these homing missile launchers that shoot one big rocket. Again, it's pretty useful for taking it down. Keeping in mind, because Balteus has a shield, a pulse shield, some of the bullets will ricochet, so we have to keep that in mind. Won't be doing as much damage with this thing, but it is what it is. It's good for once the shield is down. So for this one, generator matters a little bit. I love this generator, the Lingtai DFGN02 generator. It has insanely fast recharge and supply recovery rate. So that means if I'm out of energy and I drop, I immediately recharge so fast. But the thing is, it doesn't have much capacity. So flying with this thing is a little hard, but you can get used to it and just tap the fly button instead of holding it, which blasts all of it out. We'll be playing this a mix of Armored Core 4 and 3, which again will be bunny hopping a lot, but we'll also be just cruising, just blasting, speeding right at the enemy, going right into their face. On the expansion, I don't really have anything. I could have the terminal armor on, I suppose, but I didn't use it. Again, OS tuning, we have the boost kick if we want to use that. I have melee weapons leveled up as well, just to do a little bit more damage, and that's really it. So as the boss starts, I just go ahead and immediately blast the missiles. I charge up the rifle to do some extra already damage at the very beginning. But as you can see, it takes a little bit longer to destroy it. As you can see, right now I'm boost hopping right here. I'm bunny hopping little by little. It's very easy to dodge most of the rockets. Although I did fuck up a little bit. But still, it is a lot easier to keep dodging like this. But my concern is not really the small missiles. It's the giant rocket. That's the one that really screws me up personally. So if I continue hopping around like that, he'll never hit me. What he really doesn't like you doing is being really close. You want to be somewhere in between like close range, but not extreme close range, right? You want to be right there as the shield goes down so you can go ahead and melee them and then do any other combo or missiles or anything you can to do it in a very fast rate. So I'm literally on this guy's schlong right now. I'm just going super hard on him. He's trying to melee me really high in the sky. One of the problems of fighting him like this is if you're really high in the sky, he's gonna melee up there, and then he's gonna stay up on the sky a lot, which might become a problem. But yeah, I mean, you could keep dodging it. Anyway, every time the shield goes down, I charge the rifle to do maximum amount of damage. I eat a little bit of fire for breakfast right there, but I'm all okay still. And then afterwards, I start playing a bullet hell game as I dodge every missile like a freaking insane person. A couple of them. Not too bad, not too bad. And as you can see, if I keep bunny hopping like that while boosting to the sides, I can always dash out of the shot as soon as he's about to fire. It is so much easier than going in a linear way. So boosting, boost hopping is one of the key features that I think you should always be doing in Armored Core, especially if you're fighting another AC. It makes life so much easier if they have powerful shots, especially in Armored Core 6, where it does so much more damage and ruins your poise. But yeah, these are all the methods that I would suggest beating the boss in either an easy way, intermediate way, or my a little bit harder but more fun way. But let me know if you've beaten the boss with any of these 3 methods and tell me how it went in the comment section. I am working on some more Armored Core videos here for the near future, so subscribe for more if you're interested. And with that, guys, thanks for watching.
It's silent.